Hi, I'm Serena from Sustainable Living Ideas, and today we are looking behind the price tag into the hidden cost of fast fashion. We love cheap, trendy clothes. They're fun, accessible, and always new. But what if every $5 t-shirt came with a story, one that involved toxic dyes, overworked factory hands, and rivers that run blue? Let's unravel what fast fashion really costs, to people, to the planet, and even to your own wardrobe. So, what exactly is fast fashion? It's the business model that delivers new clothing collections to stores every single week, often inspired by high-end runway looks. Brands produce cheaply, sell fast, and push customers to constantly buy more. It sounds like accessibility, but it's actually planned obsolescence for clothes. We're buying 5 times more clothes today than we did in the 1980s, while wearing them half as long. Think about that. The cycle is dizzying. A trend appears, it's mass-produced in weeks, hits the stores, and then it's gone, replaced by the next big thing. This system isn't designed for you to build a lasting wardrobe. It's designed to keep you on a treadmill of consumption, always chasing the latest style for fear of being left behind. It's a brilliant marketing strategy that has fundamentally changed our relationship with what we wear. Let's talk about the environmental toll because it is staggering. The fashion industry produces about 10% of global carbon emissions. That's more than all international flights and maritime shipping combined. It has an enormous carbon footprint driven by energy-intensive production and a global supply chain that ships materials and finished products all over the world. Then there's the water usage. A single cotton t-shirt can require 2,700 liters of water to produce. That's enough drinking water for one person for almost 3 years. Now multiply that by the billions of t-shirts made each year. Much of this cotton is grown in water-stressed regions, depleting local water sources and impacting agriculture and communities. And the pollution doesn't stop there. Textile dyeing is the second largest polluter of water globally. Factories dump untreated toxic wastewater directly into rivers. These chemicals, including lead, mercury, and arsenic, turn entire waterways unnatural shades of neon blue, red, and yellow, making the water undrinkable and killing aquatic life. This isn't happening in our backyards, which is why we don't see it. The environmental cost is not hidden. It's just outsourced. And what about the clothes themselves? Most fast fashion is made from synthetic fibers like polyester, which is essentially a form of plastic. Every time you wash a synthetic shirt, it sheds thousands of tiny microplastic fibers. These fibers are too small to be filtered out by wastewater treatment plants, so they end up in our oceans, lakes, and rivers. They're ingested by marine life, and eventually they find their way into our food chain and even our bodies. The full health impact is still being studied, but it's a terrifying consequence of our throwaway culture. Behind every Made in Bangladesh or Made in Cambodia label, there is a person. And the human cost of fast fashion is just as devastating as the environmental one. To keep prices impossibly low, brands rely on a workforce that is underpaid, overworked, and often exploited. The majority of these workers are young women who are trapped in a cycle of poverty. Many of you will remember the Rana Plaza factory collapse in Bangladesh in 2013. The 8-story building, which housed several garment factories, collapsed, killing over 1,100 workers and injuring thousands more. Workers have been ordered to return to the building despite visible cracks appearing the day before. This tragedy was a global wake-up call, shining a harsh light on the unsafe conditions that are standard in the industry. But a decade later, has enough really changed? While some safety initiatives were put in place, the fundamental problems persist. Garment workers still face incredibly long hours, often 12 to 14 hours a day, 6 days a week, especially during peak production times. They work for wages that fall far below a living wage, meaning they can't afford decent housing, nutritious food, or health care for their families. When one country tries to enforce better labor laws or increase its minimum wage, fast fashion brands often just pack up and move their production to another country with looser regulations and even cheaper labor. It's a race to the bottom where human rights are sacrificed for profit margins. The system depends on this cheap, exploitable labor, not fair labor. The people making our clothes deserve dignity, safety, and a wage they can actually live on. Now, you might think, well, at least it's cheap for me. But is it really? Fast fashion isn't cheap for you, the consumer, either not in the long run. The low price tags are a powerful psychological trigger. They encourage us to buy more than we need, filling our closets with impulsive purchases we might only wear once or twice. But here's the catch. These clothes are designed to fall apart faster. The industry calls it perceived obsolescence. Weak seams, peeling fabrics, fading prints, and cheap materials that lose their shape after a few washes are not accidents. They're part of the business model. When your $5 t-shirt shrinks or your trendy dress rips, you're more likely to just throw it away and buy a new one. This cycle of replace and repeat means you end up spending more money over time than if you had invested in a few well-made, durable pieces. It creates a constant state of dissatisfaction with our own wardrobes. We have closets overflowing with clothes, yet we still feel like we have nothing to wear. This isn't a personal failing, it's a psychological trap. It's designed to make you keep buying, not to help you build a wardrobe you love and feel good in. You're paying for quantity, not quality, and the true cost adds up. This leads us to the final massive problem, the waste crisis. All those clothes we buy and discard have to go somewhere. Every year, the world throws away an estimated 92 million tons of clothing. To put that in perspective, that is equivalent to a garbage truck full of textiles being dumped in a landfill or burned every single second. Every second. And recycling? It's not the solution we think it is. Only about 1% of clothing is recycled back into new garments. The process is complex and expensive, especially for blended fabrics. Most of our discarded clothes are either incinerated, releasing harmful toxins and greenhouse gases into the air, or they end up in landfills where they can take hundreds of years to decompose, leaching dyes and chemicals into the soil and groundwater. Even the clothes we donate with the best intentions often have a grim fate. A large portion of donated clothing from Western countries is bundled up and shipped overseas to be sold in secondhand markets. But the volume is so overwhelming that local markets are flooded, crippling local textile industries. What can't be sold ends up in massive landfills in countries like Ghana and Chile, creating mountains of Western cast-offs that choke local ecosystems and create public health hazards. These clothing graveyards are a visible, heartbreaking symbol of our global consumption problem. After all that, it can feel overwhelming. But here's the good news. As consumers, we have tremendous power to change this. It starts with small, conscious choices. First, buy less, but choose better. Instead of chasing fleeting trends, invest in timeless, durable pieces that you truly love and will wear for years. Quality over quantity is the mantra. Second, care for the clothes you already own. So much of a garment's lifespan depends on how we treat it. Wash your clothes gently on cold cycles and line dry them when you can. Learn basic repairs like sewing on a button or mending a small tear. When you rewear and repair, you're not just saving money, you're honoring the resources and labor that went into making that item. Third, embrace secondhand. Thrifting, consignment stores, vintage shops, and clothing swaps are fantastic ways to find unique pieces without contributing to new production. It's a treasure hunt that saves resources, saves money, and gives clothes a second life. Fourth, support ethical and sustainable brands when you do need to buy new. Look for brands that are transparent about their supply chain, pay their workers a living wage, and use sustainable materials like organic cotton, linen, or recycled fibers. Do your research apps and websites can help you check a brand's rating. And finally, use your voice. Speak up. Ask brands on social media, #WhoMadeMyClothes. Ask them about their factories, their materials, and their environmental policies. Every purchase or refusal to purchase is a vote for the kind of world you want to live in. Your choices send a powerful message to the industry. Fast fashion thrives on speed, low prices, and our collective silence. Choosing sustainability isn't about giving up your personal style or becoming a minimalist overnight. It's about redefining what style means. It's about being more intentional, more creative, and more connected to the things we wear. Because true style, the kind that reflects your values, never goes out of season. If this video opened your eyes, please give it a like and share it with a friend who loves fashion. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights on conscious living. I've put some links in the description below to sustainable fashion guides and some of my favorite ethical brands to get you started. They are affiliate links, which means they help support this channel at no extra cost to you. I'm Serena, and this is Sustainable Living Ideas, making conscious living simple, smart, and stylish. Thanks for watching.